No, Aminata.
The Punch TV
cannot be gay. I know that he cannot submit to those tenets. Is it true that it's Aminata that signed that letter to the president? Saying that because of these transient financial benefits, our proper family values should not be encouraged. Now, Nusaf Hussein is here, and we are in Ramadan. True Muslims will not countenance a millimeter of this nonsense. The vice president and now leader of the New Patriotic Party, if he is a true Muslim, should look at Akuffo in his face and tell him that, boss, my faith, my religion does not countenance what you are doing. Sign it.
The Punch TV.
Addo no memo makwa baba ye the Punch TV so me so say any day di kind na dey channel ya. Obe subscribe dey ama ye no like no share. We so jawadwen share or comment section ho eso e dey akan ho. So I subscribe so that I beka say Nyankopon on show. On tre wa shim. Abusian for family ameka say a story be na theater for mama nkofo twene seleni abasa. Social media no so dey okọ ho ache say baby abefa bia enam ho. And I say the Punch TV so dey emfa nkame ya hwefo. Inti yeso akofa story na yeso ye dey abra ya hwefo say omonje no munti no so nhwebi. No munti nsema yakoso ewo eye Ghana ayewe. Abusian for my uncle Ninkoti asem no emra ye ba ye de mu nchemu nyina esa ebebrem.
And of course to you, Senna.
The Punch
A certain level of political madness, or for want of a better word, silliness is taking place in our governance. Because if Abraham Lincoln's definition of democracy is anything to go by, government of the people, by the people, and for the people, then President Akuffo's government is not for the people, and is not of the people, and is not by the people. And so if that is the case, then it means that democracy is at a crossroads, and there is the potential that the actions or inactions of President Nana Akufo can actually somersault our democracy in a manner that will be very dangerous for all of us. Parliament took a decision that they want to formulate a bill to regulate sexual human rights and the Ghanaian family values. And the bill before us, or that has been passed by Parliament, if I get the title right, is Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill. It is not anti-LGBTQ plus bill. It is anybody's definition, and I don't know why people decide, because Western media decide to christen it anti-LGBTQ. What we are saying is that we have proper sexual human rights. And the proper sexual human rights includes the one that leads to procreation. Any sexual rights that does not lead to procreation is not proper. It affronts our Ghanaian and African values. Consequently, Parliament decided that we need to ensure that the proper values are maintained. Senna, if we are not careful, you know, many people think that it's about a man marrying a man or a woman marrying a man. But if you look at the thing, it's not gay and lesbians. It is Q and what have you. Now, what does the Q stand for? A woman can just get up and say that they have seen a beautiful tree outside there, and that tree they want to marry. So they call on Sheikh Inusafuseni to come and bless that relationship. Or they call on Osofo Solomon Owusu to come and bless that relationship. Now, when we are allowed into this absurdity, where you can marry anything, where you can profess love to anything, so a woman can marry a tree. Once you marry a tree, you have to go sometimes and sleep by the tree and probably make love with the tree. So you go outside and naked yourself because that is the home of the tree. And somebody comes to say that in this scent exposure, then you tell the person that this is my husband. That is the level of absurdity that Europeans, Americans want to impose on us, that we should accept it. Somebody can get up and say that my cat, I'm in love with my cat, and my dog, my donkey. So if we are married, I'm married to my donkey. My donkey can make love to me, right? Or I can make love to the donkey. That is the whole thing that we are describing. And because of that, Parliament decided that no, let us put this thing into perspective so that we'll be guided appropriately. This should have been an initiative by the ministry responsible for chieftaincy, religious affairs, and probably culture. After all, we have Center for National Culture. So they should be promoting the proper Ghanaian values, right? So you have institutions that will tell you what are Ghanaian values and what are not Ghanaian values. So Parliament, through private members, mooted this idea and it was unanimously supported. Dr. Kisi and co all went to vote, and they voted in one voice that this is what we want.
The Punch TV.
And we applaud them. So one was expecting that once the people's representatives had made a voice and taken a decision, President Akuffo will gladly assent to this. But we have a president who was speaking to Al Jazeera about 3 or so years ago and was confronted with the issue of this LGBTQ. He said it's bound to happen. It does need proper mobilization and protest for it to happen. Don't forget that the president's hunchback, Gabi Asare Ochiridaku, in 2007 was promoting an international gay conference in Ghana. And he was fronting that that gay conference should take place in Ghana. It took President Akuffo and the church and the mosque to say that. In fact, President Akuffo, after the mosque had said no, the church said no, came out to say that conference will not happen in Ghana. They should look for a different place to do it. And so once Gabi is the hunchback of Akuffo, you expect nothing to see a promotion and a push for this thing to manifest in our Ghanaian society. So President said that to Al Jazeera. Then he came and met the church in Ghana. And when he was confronted with the issue, he said it will not happen under his presidency. Then the presidency took it up and started applauding that, look, the president has spoken. It did not take long for Kamala Harris, the vice president of the United States, to be in Ghana, and the president betrayed all of us and the church by telling Kamala Harris that this bill before Parliament is not an initiative of the executive. So, there's some individuals that have taken their matter. He was waiting for them to finish, and he will see what to do with it. And we are seeing what the president is doing with it. Beyond that, soon as Parliament passed the bill, the Ministry of Finance wrote a love letter to President Akuffo outlining the economic dangers, financial dangers that we will face if we decide, or if President assents to the bill. So they gave President a letter not to sign. So Ghana will lose about 3.4 billion if we sign this. And they listed the various facilities that the Ministry of Finance was involved in that were possibly going to come to Ghana. Then, as we are on it, we are told that some individuals say they want to go to court. But this is a bill. It's not yet a law. It becomes a law when the president assents to it. And so, how can you go to court on something that is not before, it's not a law? The president met with the diplomatic community and said that, look, he was not able to do this, sign any bill, because some individuals have gone to court. This was on the 4th of March. So president actually knew that Gabi Asari or Chiridako's boy, Richard Sky, was planning to send a matter before court, but he didn't know that the boy had not gone to court. And so he went ahead to say that there was a matter before court. Only after he spoke that now Richard Sky went to file. So you see the sequencing that president had calculated and done all these things in order to frustrate the representatives of the people's decision that we needed to have a proper sexual human rights law and Ghanaian family values. So president had planned this, rehearsed it, and is now executing what he has planned. And so, in doing so, president now says that they had gone to Peduase Lodge for a cabinet retreat. And whilst they were away, in fact, before that, when society started asking why is the president not interested in signing, the now majority leader, Apenyo Makins, came and said that no, the bill has not been sent to the presidency. And why are people asking the president to sign something that is not before the president? Because normally when Parliament finishes passing, there are some nitty-gritties that need to be done in Parliament itself. Because they do corrections and whatever. It has to be done, it has to be put in order before it's sent to the president. So that was not done. So Apenyo Makins came and said, no, don't accuse the president because there was no bill before him. And that the bill, when it gets to the president will act. Now the bill is ready, tidied. The clerk is transmitting it to Parliament, and then you block to the president, and you block the clerk from delivering what is supposed to be done. Parliament does its duty. The next stage is to give it to you. Now, I will assume that the president, in all honesty, does not even know what is contained in the bill because it's not yet properly before him. So why are you saying that you will not accept it? Because you first have to receive, peruse, and understand what is inside before you can think about rejecting or accepting. So this bill is not before the president. The president and the presidency are already sweating. Can you imagine? They don't know the content of it. I also assume that the Ministry of Finance does not even know the content. Because the bill was to sanitize before it gets to the presidency. It's here to get to the presidency. Then you go and start writing.
Yama owi akwa baba Mansa Media College. Mansa Media College a school power a TV so any radio so dwumadie. Ya so ye e wo Kumase atonsu. Baby a uwo bia o pese ba Mansa Media College a. Na be hu dwumadie yedi ne honmo a. Yentie dwumadie yedi no Mansa Media College.
Se usua bribi wo media mu. Ana o pese ohunu bribi biara e fa media ho. Enso eche kra.
Mansa Media College e wo homam.
Ye wa achechefo a wa kwadiri yie wa adetwem na in studio ni ye newsroom de editwam. Wonsam twem no ye twe bribi ti se kasebo akenkan ni sinitwa ni bebura ekeka ho. Wa multimedia mu nso ye twe bribi ti se sini mfoni asiesie mfoni nitwa ni bebura ekeka ho. Ye betumi nso aboa ama wo de na otwepe asunya bribi wo nkitahudie adwuma ahodo nyinaamu esanse ye wo yankasa foni nti abwe biara ye ma ya adesuafo kwan ma okọ yode ya twe won adesua dan mu no
ahwefo ehu ekame ese obi biara wo le bosomtwe ase enim abakosema efa nsuo ehu menya abofra kitu bi wa ha ono so se onim abakosema efa le bosomtwe ho
abusuafo ye mama kwaba eba Ghana Pages TV so emra son se ye the trending issues ne ekoso ewo abefo tentan fidie ni so ebesomo midin na naeje wa akode
Mansa Media College e ma o de we hia bia wo nkutahudie mu